part 3 of an interview with that Vernon Jarrett did on me, living your dream and how to move your life forward.
Open sesame for some of your ambitions. When did that come?
When did it come?
In the hospital? Was it a nurse you were working on?
I was a medical technologist. I think my first, when you say first break.
Well, as a fashion designer.
Oh, as a fashion designer. Oh, when my first break as a fashion designer was the night that we had our senior presentation, and out of all the students that presented their garments, I was the only student that sold a garment to someone that night.
Maybe we're running ahead of ourselves. What night, where, and at what school?
This is the International Academy for Fashion Design, and this was in 1983. And I was really elated because the person that purchased my garment, she was one of the best friends of the person that owned the school, Clem Stein's wife. So I was very impressed with that. And I think by me having the courage to even go to school, because I went back to fashion design school and when I was 30 years old, and that's because I had just gotten fed up with the medical profession. I mean, instead of being the type of profession that I went into, I felt like I worked at General Motors at the time. When I went into chemistry, we were mixing test tubes and we were watching things turn and colors and pipetting dangerous things into pipettes. And then the next thing I know, 10 years rolled around and everything was computerized. So it was like my mind wasn't getting worked at all. I felt like I was building a car or something. And
how does a fashion designer go about building up business? Word of mouth?
Basically, having the courage and confidence, having the confidence to go out and start, and then having the courage when someone talks about your garment, you don't really take it personally, because what you have to decide is they really don't know. So I'm trying to show you...
The customer's always right.
Well, yeah, that's a nice way to put it, but you just have to bite our teeth a lot, bite our tongue a lot. But my first real break was when I took my clothes from the school to Carson's Period Scott, the corporate level, and they purchased my line. And I thought that was wonderful because they loved it. And I was so unprepared. I didn't even have prices. I didn't have... The lady asked me for the style number, and I had to say, style number? Oh, 5201, that was my address. I had to come up with a number. So she said...
how well did your designs go?
They were wonderful. They were great. They were great there. And we sold to Stanley Korshak, Stevens, Nordstrom's on the West Coast, and over 200 retail stores nationally.
Did it make any difference by the store managers or buyers when they discovered that Rosemary Scott Reeves was an African American?
Well, most of them didn't even see me and they didn't know me, because basically my rep in New York, she was Caucasian. My rep in Chicago, she was black. So basically, the only thing they knew, they were buying something that was going to check out, and that's the only thing they were really concerned about.
There are black reps also with white companies.
Oh, sure, yes. Basically, my rep in Chicago, all her lines were white lines other than two, and that was myself and Reginald Thomas at the time. And Reginald Thomas is a...
How many black designers are there in Chicago, fashion designers?
Well, in the Chicago Fashion Guild, there are out of 55 people, I think there are about 5 members that are black.
Now, when people come to your place of business, then they know who Rosemary Scott Reeves is, right?
Yes.
Does that make any difference?
Well, before I had only a wholesale business, so it really didn't matter what people thought. Now I'm concerned about the retail store that I'm opening at 1 East Delaware. I mean, because
You're opening a store.
I'm opening up a retail store at 1 East Delaware, and what we're doing, we're opening up a store with a new concept for the 90s. We're going to have a store where you come in and all your alterations are done free. We're bringing the service back into the retail business. And I'm listening to my customers and letting them tell me what they want, as opposed to trying to push something off on them that I've designed 6 months ago.
Your originals, right?
Yeah, we do couturier, we do that, and we also do fashion and wardrobe planning as well. So it's going to be very fun. It's going to be a real fun store. It's going to be very relaxing. You come in, we just make you feel at home.
In other words, this store will accommodate some of the people who are just ordinary folks. So if my wife comes in there, she doesn't have to think she's getting a Rosemary Reeves exclusive, does she? And spend a lot of money?
No, what she can do is come there and she can think she's getting a Scott original and spend like 1/10 of the money. How about that?
All right. That sounds much better.
Yeah.
Go along.